Assalamualaikum. My name is Sawsan, and I'm really excited to be your computer science coach, help you with all things computer science related, whether you are um, coming from a background of, lots of coding and using digital tools already at school, feeling really, confident with that. We've all gone remote and hybrid and virtual, and so maybe you're using a combination of Google Classroom with some kind of portal um, at your school. Maybe you have a Chromebook assigned through your school or a tablet. Uh, Maybe you already upload everything through your device to your classroom and you feel really confident about that. Or maybe you don't. Maybe it's all kind of new and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And what you're hoping to learn with me is just how to get more comfortable with all of that. Make presentations for your schoolwork that not only show what you're learning um, in a good design way and incorporating your content, whether that's images, words, um, but maybe even like taking it to the next level where you're prepping yourself for job applications in future, college in future, inshallah. And how do you really do that? How can you use simple tools like Google Slides just to get the job done really fast, or Microsoft Suite of programs like PowerPoint to do some pretty savvy design work that would rival any kind of Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, without that type of software, which is number one, expensive if you were to try and buy it on your own, or mom, dad, pay for that. It can get pretty pricey. Maybe your device doesn't even have the memory for it. Or if you have a Chromebook from school, you can't download any software, so you don't even have some of those programs available to you. So how can you use what you already have? How can you build your skill set using basic introductory programs? And how do you take it to the next level? Like if you really are interested in graphic design, how do you develop that? Or maybe you're already doing some of that. You're already interested in digital illustration or content producing for the web, for example. And you just want to polish it off. I'm here to help you with all of that. What if you are just kind of on your phone and so you're using social media, TikTok, for one, to kind of post and, record videos and stay up to date with like what's happening with your friends and you have followers and all of that. But what about privacy? What about how your profile, even if you think you're not really gonna have to worry too much about people following you or finding you unless you want them to, because we all know how to block people and things like that. But are you aware of the full extent of tracking and how to safeguard yourself so that in future when you have your job application, your college application, your content really represents the best you. And that means, we can be funny, we can show our interests, we can, be ourselves online, but at the same time, being a content producer is also being an editor. Okay, so, you know, developing some kind of thinking about that and also knowing how to do that. Um, Video editing, are you just using only your phone to edit videos? Or do you really know how to edit videos using a tablet? iPhone is, you know, pretty phenomenal. Anything Mac is pretty phenomenal for, you know, video editing, but those devices are pretty expensive. So if you're using an Android-based system, that's like, you know, your basic, right? I call it basic because not everybody even really knows the difference between these different operating systems. You know, then you have different kinds of limitations. Do you know how to edit a video? And when I say edit, I don't mean just, you know, like cut it here or there, but like, could you cut it, crop it, splice it, add in some audio track? And, you know, with your phone, I know if you're on TikTok, you can, like, you know, add audio, music, whatever, but like a video is different. What if you were doing a project for your school and you wanted to put a soundtrack, whether that's, you know, a free downloadable MP3 audio track to highlight a particular slide, and then animate that, or whether it's something that you're recording, like say you're doing a research project and you want to interview some people and you actually want to have some of their you know, words incorporated, or you're doing a spoken word, and or you're doing some, you know, mashup of images, and then you want to record some audio or embed some audio. How do you do that? Web design, okay, whether, you know, you're thinking like a blog that is like strictly personal, you're a writer, you want to get your thoughts out there, you want to like show something that you're really kind of like a fan of, fandom, you can do that. Lot of free, what they call DIY, do it yourself, platforms out there that you don't have to spend money on, you know, registering the domain and, like, you know, going all out, or creating a blog type of site. And I don't mean WordPress or something kind of blocky and chunky, but like really simple. Google Sites even has something that if you have a Gmail, you can have a website. And they're looking pretty good. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can turn a Google Sites site into a great portfolio, whether it is for all of your school work, whether it is for an AP class and you want to do something really specific for that class, whether it is strictly personal, and you want to highlight your interests. All of those things are great for your resume, whether that's your academic resume, whether that's your job hunting resume, or maybe you have like a small business idea that you're thinking, hey, you know, I want to make a little money. I've got some good skills. I either make these little things here that I could like sell and I could highlight, or I could network. How do you do that? Well, cross-platform, live stream some videos, upload them to your social media, YouTube, and then embed them in your blog, so that it's a record. One of the things about social media that I think is really frustrating is that your content is gone in 2 seconds. Yeah, we like Snapchat because, you know, it's just like gone here and gone in a minute. But what if you're actually spending a lot of time producing your content, and then you look back and where is it from like last week or last month, unless you've saved it, you've posted it to your story or something like that. Still, those are very transitory. They're gone in a minute. If you can post some of that content onto a blog site, Google Sites, or if you've got something a little more serious going on, you can do a DIY site through, you know, a few different platforms out there. You know, you can launch yourself, and that all makes for great resumes, jobs, college, the future. And it's also a great way to connect with friends besides just, hey, follow me on Instagram. You can really impress some people, that you might meet or know when you actually have a page that allows people to like get to know you beyond just the 3 seconds on screen. Last but not least, when most people think of computer science, they think of coding. So where are you with coding? I mean, everything from like the simplest and the most fun and the easy is block coding, drag and drop, make things happen, but learn something, what we call in computer science, kind of called computational thinking. Of course, in high school, you're going to have lots of computational thinking in math, but that also applies to algorithmic thinking in science, in how you problem solve and think about different scenarios where you're trying to investigate a topic and make proposals or arguments for and against, and the evidence that you have for that. Computational thinking is kind of like logic thinking, step by step. Block coding, simple, you've never done any kind of coding before, lots of fun, easy. And then you can embed some of that into your blog site, because they give you embed codes nowadays that are really awesome. What's in an embed code? It's a piece of code using a type of language called HTML. Post it in your website, have a little portfolio sample of that. Also, object-oriented programming starts off really easy. Block coding can get a little more advanced. That's an introduction to game design. There's a great college near Worcester that is a really well-known game design college. So imagine like all the amazing games that you love to play. Imagine being a game tester or a game designer. Well, first of all, you got to love games. And then you also have to be able to think critically about the games, what works, what doesn't work, what's your favorite aspect. And then how do you program those? Object-oriented programming. Different kinds of languages, that's more like, the future in software engineering, that type of thing. You don't have to be an engineer type of person to love computer science and do really well with computers. But what if you are? Okay. Computers is for everyone. Computers make learning easier for everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter what language is your first language, and no matter how you might learn differently than everyone else around you. Some people, learning, school, all of that seems to come easy. Some people, it's really challenging and hard. Sit down at a computer and it's like you're in your own little world. And I have seen a lot of students who struggle in other classes sit down at the computer and it's just like sky is the limit. So with that, new students, welcome to my class. I have a little brief survey that I would like for you to take a couple moments and just kind of answer a few questions. Why? Yes, we could talk in person, and we are going to talk a lot more in person. I want to get to know you in person. But now then, when you fill out this little survey, I'll have a little record that I can put with your name, and it'll help move things along a little more quickly when I can put that as background to what you already know, what you don't know, what you want to know, and where we can go from here. All right. Thank you so much. And if you have time, I've noted one of my websites, one of many websites that I have created, but it's like almost like a personal little splash page website. It's got a few samples from some of the work that I've done with students. Again, I am a K through 12 computer science teacher. I'm also qualified to teach the AP computer science class in high school. And even if you have zero experience with computer science, I encourage you to think about an AP computer science class, especially if we get to work together. You can ace that class, inshallah. See you soon. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.